With the Fallout TV show coming out, there's a lot of new people getting into the games. New Vegas specifically is probably the most loved online in the series, and for good reason. It's a fantastic game. It did come out over a decade ago, however, and does not run very well on modern day computers. Fortunately, New Vegas modding has gotten very advanced, and frequent crashes and low frame rates are a thing of the past. You will not need any previous modding knowledge for this. I'm going to show you how to get your game running smoothly using the Viva New Vegas guide. Now if you prefer to just read the guide yourself, it'll be the very first link in the description. But I get a lot of requests asking me to cover this guide in a video format, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Now this guide will be keeping the game as vanilla as possible, while just improving performance. If you'd like to see a full remaster, I have another video I made exactly for that. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The first thing you need is the game itself, and we're going to be using the Steam version for this guide, except other versions will work as well. You'll need all of the DLCs. The DLC content for this game is incredible and stupidly cheap during sales. A lot of mods will not work without them, and you're missing out on quite a bit of content if you don't have the DLC. You're also going to need a Nexus Mods account. Just go to the Nexus Mods website and click register. It's super easy to set up. The next thing you need is the C++ runtime libraries. These are officially from Microsoft, so don't worry about downloading anything suspicious. All you want to do is click download, then extract the archive, and run installall.bat as administrator. This will install everything you need at once, and it shouldn't take too long. The link will be in the description. Now to download the actual game itself, you're going to want to first get the Steam Library Setup tool. This will allow you to download the game under a different file path, which can improve performance and also avoid some bugs that might occur when you use the normal Steam path. Completely exit out of Steam using Task Manager, and then run the tool. Add a new entry by clicking Add Row. Go to your File Explorer and find your C drive or whatever other drive you want to use. Copy the pathway for this and put it in the path part of the tool. Click accept and exit the tool. Now when you open Steam, you should see a new option when downloading the game. Select your new path and you're all set. If you don't see this new path, restart your computer and try again. Now that you've got the game installed, you're going to want to launch the game and select your settings in the installer. This will generate some files that are needed later on. You can close out of the game after accepting your options. Now we get into Mod Organizer 2, which is the mod manager we'll be using. You may be used to another mod manager like Vortex. For New Vegas specifically, however, you're going to want to be able to use Mod Organizer 2. It's by far the best mod manager I've found. I've used Vortex for a long time. Download Mod Organizer 2 using the link provided in the guide, and once you've installed it, run the exe file. You can install it wherever you want, but I recommend making a folder called modding, just to keep things organized. Now once you've got it loaded up, you should be able to create a new instance. You're going to want to click Portable, and select New Vegas as your game. Click the game version you're using, in this case Steam, and turn on all three of these options. Clear any of the read-only flags, select No on the tutorial, and click Import Nexus Categories if it asks you. Now that you're in the program, I'll give a brief explanation on how to use it. The left side will be empty for now, but once you get some mods, they will appear in a list here. And if two mods have conflicting files, then the one lower down on the list will overwrite said files, while the one higher on the list will be overridden. For example, if you have a retexture mod that retextures trees and cars, but you only want to retexture the trees, and you want to use a different retexture for the cars, then you can put the different retexture for the cars underneath the original mod, and then the new car retexture will overwrite the original. The right side of the screen is where you'll see your downloads and plugins. Plugins work the same way mods do, and downloads is where all your downloads will appear. Now that you're in the program, you're going to want to rearrange the plugins on the side to be in this exact order. This will make console commands consistent with what's shown on the wiki. After you've fixed your plugin order, you're going to want to click on the profile button in the top left. Now click copy, and make sure that all three things are checked for the profile. You can name this Viva New Vegas or whatever you want. Next up is to click the settings icon. Here you can change the theme of the program. I just keep it as default personally. You can also click the Nexus tab to connect Mod Organizer 2 to your Nexus account. This will make modding the game way easier. The next thing you want to do is click on this icon. This will pull up your INI files, which are text files that can be changed to edit settings in the game. You're going to want to copy the text from this section of the Viva New Vegas guide and paste it in the Fallout Custom.ini section. This will remove mouse acceleration from your menus, which if you know what that is, you probably aren't a fan of it, so this is a must-have. Now that you've got Mod Organizer 2 set up, we're going to download some necessary mods. First is the New Vegas Script Extender, or NVSE for short. This adds in a lot of new functionality for modders, and is required for like 90% of all mods. To install it, all you have to do is go to the Nexus page and click Manual Install. Now go back to Mod Organizer 2 and select this file icon, and click Open Game Folder. This will bring up your game files. Now simply drop in the NVSE file to your game folder and extract it. Next, we're going to download the BSA decompressor, which will increase performance. All you have to do is click Manual Install and then create an empty folder on your desktop. Put the zipped file in the empty folder and then extract it. You should see a bunch of files. Click the exe and run it. Now close out of Mod Organizer 2 and put in your game's file as the path. Click Decompress. This will take a little while. I recommend while waiting for that to go to Install and grab the Ultimate Edition ESM fixes, again with a manual install. Next, get the 4GB patcher with another manual install, and extract the 4GB patcher into the New Vegas game folder the same way you did with NVSE. Now your decompression should be finished. Go back to your game file and run the 4GB patcher. It should say the game is patched now. Now go back to where you downloaded the Ultimate Edition ESM fixes and extract the file. This one already has a folder built in, so you don't need to create an empty folder. For the file path, go back to Mod Organizer 2 and click the folder icon again. Select Open Mods folder and create a new folder here called ESMs Fixed. Copy the path to this folder and paste it in your Ultimate Edition ESMs program. Now click Install, and this one shouldn't take long at all. Now go back to Mod Organizer 2 and click F5. This will reload the program. Now your ESM fixed mod should appear. Simply click here to turn it on. The next thing to get is the New Vegas heap replacer for even more performance gain. Simply install this manually and extract it to your game folder the same way you did with NVSE. Now we can move on to mods that are a bit easier to install. The first thing you're going to want is JIP. This mod has a ton of engine fixes and most mods require it. You're going to want to click Mod Manager Download, and then a pop-up should appear asking for permission to download it. Click Allow, and now the download should appear in Mod Organizer 2 under Downloads. Simply click and hold to drag it into the left panel to install it. Now you've got the first part of JIP. However, JIP requires two files. Go back to the mod page and download the INI file the same way you downloaded the original. When you install this one, however, make sure to change the name, otherwise it'll override the original mod. Most mods only require one download, so luckily you won't have to do this very often, but it'll still come up from time to time. Next, download the Johnny Guitar mod using your mod manager and install it. This one is required for a lot of mods as well. Next up, you're going to download the New Vegas tick fix. This is incredibly important as this is how you'll be able to uncap your frame rate. You will not run into any physics issues with this mod either. Simply download it like you did with Johnny Guitar. Now you go to a different mod page to get the INI file for the tick fix. If you're playing above 1080p or plan on using any texture mods, you're going to want to grab the texture modding preset. If not, you can get the default preset instead. If you went for the texture modding preset, you will need to download DXVK, which will need to be downloaded manually and placed in the game folder like NVSE. DXVK can improve performance, so you can download it even if you got the default preset, but the main reason why we're using it is that it fixes a bug with the texture modding preset where you won't be able to alt-tab away from the game. For the rest of the mods in this video, you can use the Mod Organizer download button. Next up, you're going to want to download the User Interface Organizer, which allows you to download a variety of UI mods. Next up is the FNV Mod Limit Fix, which helps performance. Next is Console Paste Support, which allows you to copy and paste commands into the in-game console. Next is Stewie's Tweaks, which has a wide variety of performance fixes and quality of life features you can edit in a new menu when you press escape in game. You're also going to want Stewie's Tweaks Essentials I&I. This will enable a lot of essential tweaks that you probably need for performance. Next, get Stewie's Engine Optimizations. This mod came out relatively recently and has been a game changer. It drastically reduces loading times. Next, get Combat Lag Fix, which will fix an issue where the game would lag during combat. You can also get VATS Lag Fix, which does the same thing but for VATS. I also recommend the Strip Performance Fix for more FPS on the strip. I also recommend Actor Save Cause Bloat, which will reduce the size your save files take up. Now, there is a big mod you can get called Yup, which is the unofficial patch for this game. It'll fix a wide variety of bugs. For your first playthrough, however, I would recommend not using it, as some of the bugs are kind of memorable to New Vegas, like how the Tops Casino is all wearing the wrong suits. If you don't care about that kind of thing though, then I highly recommend it. If you're planning to download more mods after this, make sure you get Yup as well, as it's required for a lot of mods. This short mod list should give you the best vanilla game experience for a new player. There's a lot in Viva New Vegas that I left out of the guide as it wasn't required or I felt like it changed the game too much. If you're interested in some of those things I left out or in creating your own Fallout New Vegas remaster with higher quality text, graphics, and textures, then check out this other video I made. If this video helped you out, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, the old email for this channel stopped working for some reason, so if you want to email me, I made a new email that'll be in the channel description. Thanks for watching.